What's up, guys? Jeff and Alexis from Sorta Healthy here, and today we are talking about how to get your first 10 personal training clients.
Today, we're going to be focusing on like typical commercial gyms, not so much studios or independent work or renting a space from somebody or something like that.
And this is good because when you're first starting out as a personal trainer, you're almost certainly going to be starting at a typical commercial gym. Actually, you didn't.
I'm like, no, I didn't.
You didn't. I worked for about 2 years at actually a few different commercial gyms. I think people know us now as having a pretty successful studio. Our studio now makes about $30,000 a month. Actually, probably a little bit more than that.
Mhm.
Definitely, if you include YouTube and online training and all the other things we do, we're well beyond that figure. But we started out as very poor and not successful personal trainers, more so me than you. At least you kind of came in having a little bit more experience teaching and
Mhm.
doing other higher level things. But I was broke for a long time and I really had to survive trial by fire. So I'm going to tell you what worked for me in that commercial gym setting, and you're going to help me divulge to them that experience.
I'm like, I'm just going to agree. No, I'm kidding. Correct me if I'm wrong, because again, I've never actually worked at a gym, but I feel like to some extent you kind of have to just do what they tell you to do.
Yes, when you are starting out at a typical commercial gym, you are definitely playing by their rules. That being said, there are certainly a few things that they should be doing for you. They should be giving you some training when it comes to sales and when it comes to actual personal training, especially if you're a new hire. They should be really kind of teaching you from the ground up, pretty much, because your certification didn't teach you that many things that are actually going to be useful on the job. Whoopsies, sorry.
I was going to say, is it typical for a gym to teach you about sales, or is it kind of just trial by fire?
Unfortunately, both things are typical. There are plenty of gyms that will coach you and teach you the basics. There's also plenty of gyms that will not. If you are first starting out and you're about to be working in a gym and they're not going to give you any help when it comes to mastering sales, you might want to find another job right off the bat, because that is something that you need to understand early into your career.
The main three reasons to work at a typical gym include gaining experience, more consistent pay, and a flow of leads and consultations.
Yes, and if you're not getting all three of those things at a typical commercial gym, it's probably not a very good starting position. Like we said, gaining experience, probably the number one thing that you can do at any gym. Even a crappy gym, you could gain
Yeah.
experience. But that being said, you do want a little bit of mentorship. Your first mentor should be paying you. You should not be paying a mentor tens of thousands of dollars, even thousands of dollars when you're first starting your career. Some gyms are better than others, but they should be paying you. Remember that. Don't be tricked by all these gurus online who are trying to get you to buy their mastermind or this course or that course. It's almost entirely all bullshit. Your first mentor should be paying you.
Did he say that enough times?
In addition to that first mentor paying you, you should be getting some consistent pay. Your first personal training job, you're at a gym, you're probably not getting paid very well. Could be minimum wage, could be something close to that. But that being said, at least you are making money for the hours that you are putting in and the hours that you're learning. If you're not getting that in that first job, well, it's probably not a very good first job.
I would assume that during the times that you're still scheduled to work, you are supposed to be doing outreach, booking consultations, programming, etc., right?
Yeah, if you're a W-2 or a typical employee, they have to pay you for any hour that you're there. So make sure you know that, because there are some gyms out there that are going to try to scam you on that, illegally, I might add. If you're a 1099 or an independent contractor, that is not the case. So the third thing that you want at your first personal training job, we are going to get into more specifics on how to get clients here. Anyway, the third thing you want is a flow of leads. They should have a bit of a funnel. This is one of the prime reasons to work there in the first place. They have a few thousand members, or a few hundred at the very least, and a percentage of those are going to do initial consultations, and you are going to sign a percentage of those people on to do personal training. That's just how it works.
I say most commercial gyms offer like a free personal training when you sign up or whatever.
Yeah, and depending on what type of gym you're working at, you might get a larger or a smaller percentage of those people to sign up for personal training. Again, about to talk about that more in detail in a second here. So, in recap, the three things you want here: you want to gain experience, and that's just experience on the floor, working with clients, doing your thing, but also you want to be mentored at least a little bit by someone more experienced than you who's going to teach you sales, a little bit about personal training. Second thing you want is consistent pay. It's probably not going to be anything too crazy, but you want that, and you kind of need that in the beginning. The third thing you want is a funnel. You should be getting consultations coming your way on a regular basis, and you will be converting a percentage of those people to personal training. Let's talk about how to actually seal the deal.
So, Jeff, what works to get clients when you're starting out at a typical commercial gym?
So, I want to divide this section into really three different sections. Things that definitely work and work very well, no matter what stage of your career that you're at, but certainly in the beginning at a commercial gym. Things that kind of work, or maybe they work better later on, but you still will get some results from them in the very beginning. And then things that basically almost never work or are kind of bullshit.
Like we said, some of these things that work at a commercial gym will work at any stage of your career and no matter where you work. So don't think this is only for people that work at commercial gyms. That's what we're focusing on, but you can apply this pretty much anywhere.
Leave us a comment down below. I want at some point to do a video on trainers who are going off on their own, how to get their first 10 clients. So if you want that video podcast, let us know in the comments down below. Say, I want to learn how to get my first 10 clients working on my own, or something like that. Anyways, continue.
So the first thing that works, or the most important thing that works, is that you need to be able to train anyone. I'll say maybe have a little bit of a niche, but you don't need to be like niche down from the get-go.
Like you said, you have to be able to work with anyone. Most people want to lose weight, get a little bit stronger, those basic goals. But if you do have a niche, something that helps you stand out a little bit, that is a big advantage in a commercial gym. Because otherwise, like, why am I going to pick you over the five other trainer, probably more than five other
It's true.
trainers, especially if you're like the new guy or new girl? You don't really have a whole lot going for you in that situation. For me, my niche was I was kind of like the injury guy. If someone had a busted shoulder or a messed up back, because I had a degree in exercise science, because I had a license in massage therapy, I kind of just had a little bit of extra knowledge when it came to dealing with injuries like that. And that served me well. That's how I got my first 5 to 10 clients, I would say.
Don't underestimate chatting with people and just being friendly, whether you see them on the gym floor or at the desk or just around in the locker room or something. Be friendly. Have a face that people remember.
Yeah, that's actually really good advice. So when I was working in commercial gyms, I worked in 2 of them. Basically, what worked best for me when it came to actually getting the clients was kind of playing the slow game. So I'd be up at the front desk. I'd just be chatting about anything, whether it was sports or food or literally whatever, what they have going on for the weekend. You have those conversations enough with the people sitting up there drinking their protein shakes. And eventually they just start asking you questions about training. It inevitably happens. They find out like you're pretty knowledgeable about certain things. And then some of them just want to train with you, and not necessarily buy like a crazy package right off the bat. But if you do this consistently enough, you become known as the guy or the girl who is good at certain things in the gym, and you just build that reputation. Didn't have people like running up to me and saying, "Ooh, please train me," but it's more like you're just chatting with them and you just get to know people over time. And then maybe they don't want your training, but they have a friend who's just starting at the gym and they could benefit from your training. Group classes were a good one too. In fact, group classes might be one of the best ones because then people kind of see you in your environment and they might just want more of you. So take advantage of as many group classes as you can get. Try to get your fitness coordinator person to do a few group classes that you think you'll do well in.
Be the person that people know. The more familiar you are to them, the more likely they are to be like, I want to work with that person.
It really is kind of just like a numbers game. The amount of interactions you have in the gym where they realize you are just a friendly, nice, normal person who happens to have a skill set that's really useful in a few different areas, that's how you're going to get clients in the long run.
Something else that works is doing as many intro sessions as you can. And that doesn't mean doing like good intro sessions. That just means doing intro sessions. Time under tension, the more practice, the better. You will not do well at every single one. You will not sell every person, but you have to remain positive and confident and just bang them out. Do as many as you can. You'll get better at it.
I don't care who you are going to basically screw a few up before you get your rhythm and your cadence down,
Mm-hmm.
before you master that sales process. We do have 2 videos online that show exactly how we do it. And you can do these in most commercial gyms. You can modify them slightly if you have to, but this is the process that we use. We've definitely modified it and improved it over the years, but it's pretty much what worked for me in a commercial gym, and we just brought it to our own studio, and it's what we still use today. Being super positive and confident is so important in this. People need to believe that you are the guy or girl who's going to help them achieve a goal, whether it's weight loss or getting stronger or they have an injury. Doesn't really matter what it is. You just need to be very positive and confident. They need to think, I kind of want to spend more time around this person. This person has some stuff to teach me. They're going to bring some value to my life.
And nerves do show during an initial consultation. If you are nervous, the person can tell you're going to fumble your words. You're not going to know what you're talking about. You're going to say something you didn't mean, or it comes out the wrong way. Be confident in every single thing that you say.
It's kind of crazy, but the less I have cared about completing a sale,
It's true.
the better my sales have gone.
Yeah, it's true.
Even if you're not confident, fake it until you make it.
Looking good yourself is one that I think matters a little more in a commercial gym setting than it does in like a private setting like our studio. You have to walk the walk, talk the talk, etc., so that people trust you to, help them with their goals.
Yeah, looking good as a personal trainer is good no matter where you are. In a commercial gym, people tend to be a little bit more surface level. So I think it does make a bit of a bigger difference. You don't need to look like a bodybuilder unless you're trying to train bodybuilders. You should just look fit. You should kind of look like the ideal person that your client is trying to look like.
It would be really silly not to mention referrals here too. Some of your first clients will likely be referrals. Go above and beyond for your clients and show them that you really care about them and the results. And then people will send you their mom, their sister, their friend, their neighbor, etc. All right, we're moving on to what kind of works as opposed to what really works here. So kind of a middle ground. Can work, can't work, depends on the situation. Social media is one of those ones where it kind of works sometimes, depending on where you're at. But if you are, posting transformations or testimonials or pictures or helpful tips and tricks, etc., that can work for you, but it really depends on where you're located, what your reach is, what type of person is looking at your content. It just may not convert very well if you're working in a gym setting.
Social media is more of a slow burn, so it does work to have testimonials, client reviews, just social proof that you're good at what you're doing. But that being said, we're talking about your first 10 personal training clients. And if we're talking about your first 10, you probably haven't had a whole lot of time to build up that portfolio of social proof.
Right.
Get some friends, get some family members, and get some transformations, get some reviews from those types of people. And that's going to be your first social proof. And that's just going to help you feel more confident that you can actually help these real people who are about to be paying for your services, but you can use their transformations. Nobody necessarily knows that your friend is your friend unless they're snooping your social media. So just get a transformation, get some reviews from people you know, and then get the ball rolling from there.
One thing that I'm really grateful for as a trainer, not only in my own business, but in a studio, is that we don't do cold calls.
I've had to do them a few times, and the results were not great. Let's say do 100 cold calls, and basically what you're typically doing is you have a list of members or people who've done personal training in the past. You have to call these people up, try and get them to come back in for an initial consultation. Maybe your gym is running some kind of special promotion. You're telling them about that. You're going to get like 5 to 10 out of 100 people that are going to come back in and do an initial consultation. And that's if you're playing your cards pretty well. So it's a little bit discouraging. It's probably not the best use of time, but it does work some of the time. I have gotten maybe one or two clients from it. And
I'm like, the problem right now is that everyone can see who's calling on their phones.
yeah,
So it's like you just ignore, block, etc.
I'm not big on cold calls, but again, your gym just might make you do them. So if they do, just make sure you're very positive, confident, and when people either don't pick up or hang up on you right away, don't get discouraged. It's whatever. Just move on to the next one. It's a numbers game with cold calls.
Local networking is one that we've also talked about a lot in the past, but more from a studio or independent trainer perspective. This is one where like it can work, but it's probably not the best use of your time for the first 5 or 10 clients if you're working in a commercial gym.
Right. By local networking, we mean like finding a local massage therapist, a local physical therapist, chiropractor, dietitian, etc., and then having like a referral network between you and all those different people. This is one where if you're going to be sticking around at a commercial gym for a little bit longer, you should be building this up and it could get you maybe one or two out of your first 10 clients, but it's not going to be the most powerful force in the beginning. It's one that compounds over time.
In our barely ever works category here, we have approaching people on the gym floor. I will say, as someone, again, who has never worked at a gym, but someone who works out at a gym or has worked out at a gym, I hate when trainers come up to me on the floor and tell me how to do something or do something better. It just, I'm in the zone. I'm doing it. I don't want anyone correcting me.
Right. And I think the way you feel is the same way that almost everybody feels. So this is probably, in my opinion, even worse odds than cold calling. I've never really seen this work. I've always heard stories. I've always seen people claim they could do it, but having worked in some gyms and talked to hundreds of trainers, it's possible, but not a great way to actually get clients.
The only way I could see it working is if like you're doing some move where some little tweak that you do just makes it like slightly better, where like a different attachment or something. And you're like, hey, I really like it this way. You should try it. And then you just walk away. Like
Right.
you don't watch me. You don't tell me that you should be my trainer. Like you just give me a tip and then I remember that. And again, I see your face around the gym and I say, this guy helped me out or this girl helped me out. And when I want training, that's who I'm going to go to.
I guess I'm including that in the what we said before, the works category, where you're not pushing personal training.
Right.
You're just communicating
Just
with people on the
communicating.
floor and just being a nice, normal person who happens to work out a lot. But yeah, being pushy with anything, whether it's sales or walking up to someone on the gym floor, barely ever works, if ever works, I would say.
That's our last one here, being pushy with sales. Don't be a used car salesman. Just be yourself.
I know you have super successful people like Alex Hormozy who are, I don't know, billionaires who are trying to sell you the thing on overcoming objections and actual personal training. It's almost entirely bullshit. If someone doesn't want personal training, there is not a whole lot you can do to convince them otherwise. You're far better off, in my experience, just being confident, being positive, letting them go on their way, and just being a nice, normal person.
Remember what we said before, the less you care, to some extent, the better. You're not trying to push them into anything, and people appreciate that.
I mean, we basically never have to overcome objections at this point because we just sign them on in the first place. There are no objections.
It's true, but
But earlier in my career, there definitely were some, and I did try to overcome them a few times, and I don't think it ever worked out. I think there was actually one time where I almost like tricked a lady into training, and then she just didn't want to continue with it after a week, and I, of course, let her out of the package anyways. Basically, you need a really good consultation process. That way, there isn't an objection in the first place. You need to demonstrate that you are the guy or the girl who can get the job done. And if you're able to do that, if you're able to convey that competence, that personality, you're going to sign them on in the first place. No objection needed.
reminder that we do have 2 videos on our channel on our consultation process and all of the forms that we use in our consultations on our website. We're not trying to sell you on going to other videos, but it is pertinent.
Speaking of which, again, let us know if you want us to detail how to get your first 10 personal training clients working for yourself in your own business. We will potentially do that in the next video and podcast. So let us know down below in the comments. Thank you very much. And until next time, stay sort of healthy.
Bye.